Well, now it's been over a month since the Atani Bridge was closed to traffic. In the following report, I take an exclusive tour, guided tour of the renovation site, where work appears to be progressing steadily. The tour began here, where steel decks are being constructed to replace what is currently on the Atani Bridge.
Well, we are busy now with the demolition works of the old bridge deck, which is in full progress. We already removed the first section, and at the moment we are lifting out the second section. And here in the background you can see that we are already assembling the new steel sections, which are basically waiting to be installed.
Together with his deputy, the project manager, Dr. Paul Herman, took me further into the work field where parts of the bridge had been split and smaller parts of it being taken off. These are what the steel decks will be replacing.
We are on the bridge itself. At the moment we are standing on a section which, if everything goes right, in a few hours will not be here anymore. We are lifting it out at the moment. If you look over here, this is the first section which we already took out. And once the gap is open here, we are starting to install the new parts and connect them to the bridge, and then we will place here the first new section in a few weeks.
Okay. Dr. Herman further explained it's much safer to demolish the bridge in bits to maintain its balance, as well as the arc on top of it. Thousands of Ghanaians have been inconvenienced with the closure of this bridge, but it has turned out to be a very necessary evil. The team then took me to the other side of the bridge, which I'm told would be completely demolished. In the meantime, the parts of the bridge which have already been taken off have been deposited here to provide more balance as parts of the bridge are gradually being removed. They explained that although the outside of the bridge looked good, beneath it exposed a worrying extent of danger it posed, hence the urgent need for this renovation. Deputy Project Manager Ben Tete added, if well maintained, the bridge, which is currently being replaced by steel instead of concrete, when completed, could have a lifespan of about 100 years.
If it's built and instead of maybe 30 tons or 40 tons or 60 tons, you use trucks over 120 tons, then we are killing the bridge. So the lifespan of the bridge depends also on the uses.
Going by the appropriate usage of the bridge, what should be the lifespan of this bridge, after the renovation?
You can easily estimate 100 years, at least.
Much diagnostics have not been carried out on the arc supporting the bridge. Dr. Herman tells me it will be cleaned and painted after the renovation, by which time any likely problems would have been detected. In the meantime, he promises a good job to the people of Ghana.
Very soon the bridge will be like new.
The Atani Bridge serves as the major link between towns across the Volta River, as well as a marketplace for vendors operating in the catchment area. Those activities have been halted till after about 24 months, by which time the renovation exercise is expected to have been completed. With the kind of work ongoing here, and with the assurances that we're getting from the technical team here, 22 or so more months seems way too much not to be optimistic that they will make the deadline that has been set out for this project. Gifty Andropia, Joynews, Atani Bridge, Akonsombo. We're still at the Atani Bridge with movement of heavy equipment and persons on top of a split bridge. We've been asking questions about safety of the workers there and what happens to the steel and concrete residue of this renovation. There's some answers in the following report. I found walking on top of the split bridge a real scare, which aroused concern about the safety of those who will be working here for some 22 more months. Workers on site did look appropriately dressed for their immediate environment, although one would have expected to see a protective face cover for this gentleman. Dr. Paul Herman assures every protective instrument is intact as long as the workers themselves observe the precautionary measures.
Oh, we have a very strong safety regulations, and everybody has to follow our rules, otherwise we get the problem. And we are taking good care of our workers.
As we made our way around the bridge discussing how much demolition has to be done, he spoke about the residue from the demolition exercise, which includes a substantial amount of steel and concrete. It is apparent that whatever happens to the residue is not a part of the renovator's contract, although Paul Herman gives an assurance it will not become an environmental nuisance.
They need to be demolished, no? And then we separate the steel and the concrete and we dispose it.
Okay.
Yeah.
What else can they be used for?
Well,
In the technical world.
Steel can always be recycled. It's the only material in the world which can be 100% recycled. It's just molten and it can be used again. The concrete debris can be used as building material or road building, things like this.
Is that a part of your work?
No. We just need to make sure that we dispose everything according to the rules and regulations.
As he has indicated, the steel and concrete could be recycled for other projects. If that is done, Ghana stands to benefit from value for money and a lot of environmental good. Meanwhile, commuters who use private commercial boats to cross the Volta River say these boats are much more comfortable and more convenient to use than the ferries. They are, however, calling for a speed up of the Atani Bridge renovation exercise. Right by the Atani Bridge, where the renovation is ongoing, is a boat transport system provided by private hands. It has also become necessary to help people cross over to either sides of the Volta River for a fee, since the Senchi and Akradi ferries tend to be much slower and overcrowded. An earlier 1 Ghana cedi charge by this private owner was vehemently opposed and subsequently reduced to 50 pesos. We were not allowed to film, but we managed to get these visuals when we took a trip to the other side ourselves. Unlike the owners who would neither let us film nor speak with the news team, the commuters did.
Sometimes in the night when you are crossing, it's so scary. You see the deep of the water and the water becomes very dark, so you become scared when you are in the boat.
Do you know how to swim?
Nah, I can't swim.
And the price is okay. 50 pesos is okay. I feel good when I'm crossing, but the other one, I don't feel when I am just doing this. People have been stepping on it too. And the life jackets too have been dirty. So they should change it.
It's very nice. It's move fast than the pontoon. If you want to cross the river, they can come and pass here, because if you pass the other side, you'll be joining the queue, a long queue before. But if you pass here, it's just 5 or 3 minutes, and then you cross the river to the other side. Okay, they are using life jackets, so I think it's okay.
Again, unlike the Senchi ferry site, there is a functional and open public place of convenience for commuters here. Although they are quite content with the mode of transport rather than the ferry, they can't wait for the Atani Bridge to be back in use.
I'm telling them God should take care of them and they should be able to do the bridge for us.
Our ways, they finish it in no time because this place is not all that convenient for us.
The owner is not so comfortable with us filming from there. But it has been an alternative route to a lot of commuters who use the Atani Bridge. Although they are asking that the Atani Bridge be completed in time, they're expressing comfort about the movement between here and the other side using this very boat. Kefti Andrapia, Joynews, Atani Bridge. And away from the Atani Bridge, now a very strange and pungent water weed is threatening the coastline and aquatic life of some beaches in the capital. Residents along the coastline say the brownish substance which surfaced about 2 weeks ago is posing a great threat to their businesses, since very few people now patronize their services along the coast.
From afar, the water weed looked like any fields that are gathered at the front of the Cocoa Beach at Teshinugwa, but a closer look revealed an entirely different picture. The strange water weed is brownish in color and is made up of several dead plant cells. The weed also emitted a very pungent smell and was also filled with small flies. Almost all the stretch of the coastline from Teshin to Nungwa was covered by the water weeds. For residents operating businesses along the coast, the presence of the waterweed meant loss of business revenue, and they accused government, the Environmental Protection Agency, and the Ghana Tourism Board for failing to live up to their mandates.
As of last year, the Zoom Lion people and those who have been cleaning the coast have been working, so it helps a lot. But I mean, the whole of this year, we don't see them coming to work. Otherwise, the situation would have been, much better than this. And for that matter, it is very bad.
Oh, it's almost about 6 months now that the Zoom Lion stopped coming here, and it's like this. Nobody do help so that the beach will be clean. It's every day like this. And this one just came about 2 weeks ago. I think there's a wind. Before it came like this, the wind entered under the sea and it brought all those things from the sea. And there's no one to help to come out. We used to bury them, but now it's too much and nobody is helping us to clean these things here.
For Stephen Owusu and his colleagues, they could not sit down and watch their business go down the drain. So they set to work to clear the parts of the beachfront where their business operates to make the place more habitable and conducive for holiday revelers. But Stephen is not amused about the situation at all and wants government to act immediately.
It's a tourist site and people used to come here and they sit around, have fun, and I don't know, but the government should come to our aid and help us, because this is also affecting our business, and more of the time when you swim, you have these skin rashes on your body, and it's also affecting us. Moreover, we want the government to come in. Some people came to help to clean the beach. Later we didn't see them again. I don't know if the government is not paying them or what, because they don't come around. And it's like we need the government to help.
Aside the waterweed that has engulfed the coastline of Teshin, Nongwa and other surrounding communities, the presence of plastic and solid waste along the beachfront is also rife.
How this place is, all these rubbish can cause disease to the children, cause cholera or disease to the children. I want the government to clear all this place. You'll be neat, sir. You'll be safe.
Residents are meanwhile appealing to government to immediately come to their aid to resolve the situation.
Well, the Accra Region Police has impounded at least 875 motorbikes on Easter Monday in an operation to clamp down on motorbike-related crimes in the city. The Kotobabi District Commander, who confirmed the exercise to Joynews, said their main target for this operation is the criminals who use the motorbikes to commit crimes. He added riders who are not licensed would also be prosecuted. The exercise was carried across 7 divisions of the Accra Regional Command, namely Tesano, Nima, Beshi, Dansuman, Kaneshi, Accra Central and the Medina District Commands. The Kotobabi District Commander stated the operation was partly to clamp down on illegal Okada business and as well rid the city of criminals who use motorbikes in the operations.
The essence is just to impound all the unregistered motorbikes to reduce some of these crimes. We started last week. Last week we were able to impound about 37. They were screened. Those who had the relevant documents were released. Those who didn't have the relevant documents were put before court. By relevant documents, I mean you should have a rider's license, road readiness certificates, as well as insurance on your motorbike. You are arrested on the road. We can't inspect the documents on the road. We have to bring you to the station for the necessary action to be taken, for the screening to be done properly. And if you have all the relevant documents, you will be released. We are not preventing anybody from riding. Okay. You should have the relevant documents to ride around the city.
She added that the operation will continue as long as new motorbikes are brought into the system. Drunk driving rose sharply on several roads in Accra on Easter Monday. This resulted in several minor accidents, especially on the main ring road in Accra. Right in front of the Ghana Broadcasting Corporation GBC, 2 Toyota Corolla saloon cars had been involved in separate accidents, causing severe and minor injuries. Police had a tough time handling traffic as the situation led to the buildup of traffic on the highway. Irate youth at Jepekrom in the Jamai South District of the Bonahafu region are calling on President John Dramani Mahama to intervene in getting the new offices of the District Police commissioned. The youth who conducted the news team around the new office and other projects that are not being used said they want to draw the President's attention to how district funds are wasting away in the area.
The youth, clad in red bands, say they cannot understand why the office for the district police was completed over a year ago but is not being used. They say instead the German South District Assembly, led by the DCE, Dora Tamia, is gearing up to rent an apartment as the district police office at Drobo, the district capital, about 50 meters away from Jepekrom. This decision, they say, makes no sense and is not in the interest of the people of German South. According to them, there is an urgent need for the building, which was constructed during the tenure of the immediate past DCE, Atani Delali Emmanuel, to be commissioned so that the police would relocate. Some of the irate youth expressed their displeasure with the current situation and called on the local government minister to take action.
Yeah, Madam Way, Abaya, Madam Tamia Dola. As I say, Obepie, and some Amasam B. Nananum issue binti or the Asham say, Yedano, Yadia Baisano, and Assam Lantiano, Yanani ya pe, Yam Penanama Masusam, Yapempuntuo, Yasha, Putu as say about Jamaha, Sampa, Sapanum, new district Abebia. Bakoso asini ye. Bakoso sini ye. Enam ye Jamai district ya. Mansu 70, nanano mansu 70.
Another project that is suffering the same challenge is a fully completed abattoir with a water reservoir for the Jepekrom and Droboso townships. This building was also constructed during Atani Delali Emmanuel's tenure but has been idle since its completion a year ago. Our cameras captured butchers at Jepekrom slaughtering animals in this unhygienic condition. This small structure, which serves as the meat shop, according to sources, was constructed in the early 70s but has also not seen any expansion. The office of the Ghana National Fire Service, which was also completed a year ago, has not been commissioned, but the personnel are using it without most of the facilities needed for their job. The news team was told the firemen had to move in here because the office they had occupied in the town could not accommodate a fire tender. Charles Amponsan is the district fire officer for German South.
We have applied for furniture. You know, look at this, our old dilapidated furniture here. So we need furniture. We've written that the furniture, they should furnish the whole block. Because look, you see, as you are here, you know that we don't have any better furniture here. So we need furniture, we need water. We need water to run our service system. Because we have toilet, WC and all those things. But since we don't have water here, we have to ease ourselves in the bush, you know, which is not fair.
In a telephone conversation with the DC for the area, Dora Tamia, she stated that they are unable to commission the buildings due to the delay in release of the District Assembly's Common Fund. She further explained that Assembly has to pay the contractor a balance of 1,000 Ghana cedis for work done. Nesta Kafria Jomes report for Joynews.
You're still watching the Primetime Bulletin here on Joynews on Multi TV, also on ABN TV in Europe. Still to come, fire gas section of the Accra Psychiatric Hospital, which has not seen any major refurbishment, 108 years since its construction. And the School for the Deaf in Western Region faces threat of closure as lack of infrastructure and a huge debt burden hangs over the school. Please do not go away. You're welcome back. The Deputy Director in charge of nursing services at the Accra Psychiatric Hospital, Insia Anyete, is calling for immediate renovation of the hospital to prevent further fire outbreaks. The hospital has not seen any major renovation since it was constructed 108 years ago. The call comes a day after portions of the administration block of the hospital got burnt.
Authorities at the Accra Psychiatric Hospital are still trying to salvage the almost damaged administration block of the hospital. About 400 staff files, photocopiers, donated clothing and items for inmates, computer and its accessories, and a total amount of 700 Ghana cedis were part of items burnt by fire, which gutted the hospital around 10 p.m. Easter Sunday.
The patient number is going down because of the Operation 600. We get a lot of them home and they are doing well, so the number is going down. We used to be about 1,200. Now we have 487 at the moment. Quite remarkable. But then we need to also improve the type of service we provide. As the patient number going down, the staff number also going up, which also come with improved logistics, improved environment. The idea of taking care of patients is about improving their environment, make them feel that they are also people, not to leave them as the mind people perceive them to be.
Called on the appropriate authorities to help renovate the hospital.
And this very reason is causing a lot of readmission, because the society has a mindset. So when they are discharged home, they don't see them as people they know. They see them as people who are not part of them and they do not support them. So in no time, with the stress coming from societal distance, make a lot of them return. So we have a lot of readmission, and that is costing us a lot.
Meanwhile, Black Natal and Friends Charity Organization, as part of the Easter festivities, have donated items worth 6,000 Ghana cedis to the hospital, 15 crates of soft drinks, 10 bottles of water, 4 sacks of washing powder, some clothes, cash donations, toiletries were part of the items.
On to the Western region now. Lack of assistance for the secondary school for the deaf is seriously affecting academic activities there. The school has on several occasions been compelled to credit foodstuffs, to also purchase foodstuffs on credit to feed the children, leading to a huge debt. Authorities might not be able to open the school for next academic term due to the situation. Western regional correspondent William Benjamin Peters filed this report.
Established in 1971 with 11 students, the secondary school for the deaf, which also happens to be the only school for the deaf in the whole of the Western region, now has a student population of 328 and 12 teachers. The school, since its establishment, is yet to see any major rehabilitation. The visible cracks on the school's walls speak volumes. Authorities say the building keeps sinking day after day, posing a great threat to the students. Only one block accommodates both the male and female students. The dormitory is a source of worry since the state of the structure makes it easy for criminals to invade the dormitories to harm the students. As a result, some of the teachers have to abandon their homes to stay with the students in their dormitories to keep watch over them, whilst the headmaster himself is now staying in the assessment room to also monitor the children. Lack of infrastructure to accommodate the growing population of the school is causing overcrowding in both the classrooms and dormitories, with about 40 students in a class instead of the required 10. Unfortunately, some infrastructure being constructed under the GET fund have been abandoned for years now. There is also the challenge of lack of educational materials, including chalk, which is purchased by the school authorities. The school has no bus to convey the children on field trips, excursions, or even to the hospital when the need arises, since the only vehicle for the school was involved in an accident which led to the death of the former headmaster. The feeding grant for a student is 2 cedis 20 pesos for a day, which is woefully inadequate, and even that is not forthcoming. Authorities have to borrow from creditors to feed their children, with the school owing creditors an amount of 7,114 Ghana cedis, 80 pesos as of last term. The headmaster of the school, Kofi Oti Frempong, in an exclusive interview with Joynews, said the school is likely not to reopen for the next academic term should the situation remain the same.
The challenges that the school is facing is enormous. First is transport. You need to go to the hinterland to look for deaf children who are hiding in their villages. But the vehicle, we had a 4-wheel drive which had an accident, and then the headmaster and then one teacher died on the spot, including the driver sustained serious injury and is no more working. So we don't have vehicle. We need to move from one office to the other, to the churches and to the mosque, to tell people that the government has a school for the deaf at Itrabai.
Meanwhile, some philanthropists from Italy who hail from Sekondi Takrady have donated some food items to the Sekondi School for the Deaf to help address some of their challenges.
And now back to Accra. The Kolebu Accident Unit recorded 129 accident cases and 2 deaths within the Easter festive season alone. Hospital authorities, who describe the figure as staggering, are calling on drivers to be more responsible on the roads. Atani has more.
On Friday, April 18, the accident center of the hospital recorded 46 cases. 11 were road traffic accidents, 10 assaults, 2 bends and 2 foreign bodies, and 3 traumas. On Saturday, 41 cases were recorded, 23 of which were road traffic accidents, 5 trauma, 3 assault, 2 foreign bodies, and 2 bends. On Sunday, the center recorded 35 cases, 6 road accidents, 9 trauma, 8 assaults, and 2 deaths. As of 11:51 Monday morning, 7 cases were recorded and all were mild traumas. Hospital authorities, who would rather speak off camera, were worried the figures is the highest in the past 5 years recorded on Easter festivities and called on drivers to be responsible.
Well, but for donations of philanthropist organizations and churches, some orphanages in the capital would have been left out of the Easter Monday celebrations. But orphans at the Osu and tertiary orphanages were fortunate to receive such donations. Matilda Nyakwa-Kweku was with them.
At the Osu Children's Home, one Albertana Ayoko Ade, who celebrated her 41st birthday on 21st April 2014, which also happens to be Easter Monday, chose to share her joy with orphans at the Osu Children's Home.
Infene kutumuna kanye nke babie ne ni mafuteshika ni kenya nyumba aye ni amenu na me ameje kowe mismu ko ni nke beke bie ni amusan bie abaje ko bena fe ko nanu modro mu na ko ni am wala kafita wala he ne bun ye ke mbi fi no ntwi nhwia ke mismu ni nke beke bie abaje ne kan fine.
Members of the Orion Union Club also chose to share the day with the children.
When we look back and we look at our children out there, we realize that they need help. So we decided to put 1 or 2 things together to come and then use it at fun creating. We don't want to go to the beach or go somewhere to enjoy with our children alone, but we rather want them to stay at home. Let us see to those children as well, because they are all our children. That's why we are here today. Yeah.
The story was the same at the Teshi Orphanage, where the children were feted by Dorothy Ministries and the Breaking Yoke Ministries. According to Janet Nye, who spoke on behalf of the proprietress, this came in handy.
We are very fortunate to have Dorothy Ministries in here and having a little party with the children. We are also expecting Breaking Yoke Ministry. They're on their way, and then by the grace of God, we are getting individuals and other people coming in to donate and then celebrate the Easter with the children. I would like to thank all those who have supported us throughout the year, the previous years, and still supporting us. And I would also like to appeal to the public to come to our aid. We really need them. Without them, we can't do. So we are appealing to them to come to our aid.
Without help from these philanthropists and organizations, Easter Monday would have been any other day for these dear ones.
Some more smiles for those children there. Now, pupils of the Falahia Islamic Basic School in the New Drubbing municipality of the Eastern Region are in dire need of decent junior high school classroom block facility. This, according to them, will enhance effective teaching and learning and also improve the academic performance. Correspondent Haruna Yusuf Umpini reports.
The Falahia Islamic Basic School was established in 1981 as a private school by Malam Ahmed Tijani. It was later taken over by government in 1989 and has since not seen any major renovation. The school's population, which stood at 413, has now reduced to 310 due to continuous withdrawal of pupils by their parents or guardians because of poor facilities. Also, the only road that leads to the school is in a deplorable state, making it unmotorable for school authorities and the general public. Aisha Idrisu and Muhammad Bashiru Salifu, both JHS 3 students, are worried about the bad nature of school structures. They said the absence of electricity, computer laboratory and decent classroom block is a major concern for the students and school authorities. They want government, NGOs, philanthropists to come to their aid.
Because in the classrooms we don't have electricity and computer labs. So we are pleading with the government to provide us with new infrastructure and a computer lab so that it can enable us to learn well. And sometimes when it rains, the classrooms, the rain enters there. And our staff come on room too. The teachers have no place to sit when it rains.
It affects us in our academic performance. We and our other fellow students, we all write the same questions, but it affects us in the examination. So we plead to the government to come and help us.
The headmaster of Falahia Islamic Basic School, Isifu Usman, also spoke about the problems facing the school.
It's also a problem for us. We are close by a highway, the Kokoridia Somanya highway, and there are no road ramps there, speed ramps there to slow down the vehicles when they are moving. To the extent that we have recorded, last term and this term, we've recorded 3 accidents. 3 of our pupils have been knocked down by vehicle, and this also puts some fear into the parents and affects the enrollment of the school. From the highway moving to the school, the road is completely eroded. Through our little effort, we've tried to rescue the situation, but because of the speed, by putting there some stones to check the erosion.
Haruna Yusuf, Company's report from the Eastern Region.
Trade and Industry Minister Haruna Idrisu says the election of Paul Afoko as the national chairman of the New Patriotic Party will not negatively impact on the performance of the ruling National Democratic Congress in the 3 northern regions. Hashmin Mohammed reports.
Paul Afoko, a businessman from the Upper East region, was last week elected as the new chairman of the NPP at a national delegates conference in Tamale, attended by over 5,000 delegates. His election is widely seen by many political analysts as a giant step by the opposition New Patriotic Party to improve on its performance in the 3 northern regions. But Haruna Idrisu, who is also the Member of Parliament for Tamale South, said the NDC and President John Mahama are poised to redeem more parliamentary seats they lost to the NPP in the 3 regions.
The recent national executive elections of the New Patriotic Party, which took place very successfully in Tamale in northern region. And we note that they elected Paul Afoko and a number of persons into their National Executives Committee. We have heard comments to the effect that once you have Afoko as MPP chairman, let me assure you here and now that the election of Paul Afoko as national chairman of the NPP cannot affect and will never affect the fortunes of the NDC or President John Dramani Mahama in the 2016 elections. And that a leopard is a leopard. It can never, even as it changes its sport, become sheep. So for us, our immediate priority and concern is to fix the economy That is a concern of President Mahama, and to execute our Better Ghana agenda.
Haruna Idrisu was commissioning an electricity project for 5 farming communities in his constituency. Chief of Sanzirigu, one of the farming communities, appealed to the Tamale South MP to also work to ensure that a grinding mill is provided for the communities to reduce the burden of women traveling long distances to access a mill. He expressed gratitude to the MP and government for providing them with the electricity.
To some business now, the head of credit risk at the First Capital Plus Limited, Dr. Charles Akwete, is asking small and medium-scale enterprises to reposition themselves in order to benefit from credit facilities from financial institutions in the country.
Access to credit. SMEs do not have too much of a problem. The banks are willing to give out loans. The other financial institutions are willing to give out loans. The challenge has been with their readiness, the poor records, the high-risk nature of their businesses. Most of them don't even understand what they are doing. And the few who manage to get the facilities, most of them, what they do is to divert those facilities. In terms of, they tell you I'm doing A and they use the money for B. So repayments become a problem, and that is affecting access to credit. That is why most of them are not able to meet the credit criteria.
To address the difficulties SMEs face in accessing credit, a number of financial institutions sprang up, mainly to assist small businesses. However, these institutions are gradually drifting from granting loans to SMEs to financing large corporate organizations. According to the executive manager of First Capital Plus Bank, Dr. Charles Akwete, the poor corporate governance structure of these businesses remains a disincentive for them.
The challenge with small business is that most of them are not ready. People jump into doing business simply because others are doing it. And they are not ready to stick to one business. They move from one to the other. What they are doing now is what we call try and error. Let me just do anything because I see a colleague or friend doing it and the person is making money. So then they jump into it. So most of them are just moving their funds away. And in the end, they bend their fingers. And they cause a lot of harm to the banks and other financial institutions. The banks are focused on those that are growing because no bank will want to go into areas where the people are not serious. And that is really will affect those who are starting startups and those who do not have proper structures in place. When it happens in that way, then those ones.
He advised the Reference Bureau to up their business to make information more credible and dependable as basis for credit approval.
They are playing a major role, except that they need to up their game and do a little bit more. In terms of records that they keep, it is what the banks provide, that is what they have. But they need to do a little more so that whoever wants to look out for them will have to get the information from them. The information should be credible, reliable, and dependable. What government should do is to increase the contribution of Exim guarantee, provide a much bigger guarantee for corporate institutions, for associations like AGI, give a blanket collateral to AGI. We can only help them if they help themselves. They must be truthful. They should stop diverting their funds and they should stick to what the good business practices are.
Dr. Charles Akwete also cautioned SMEs to use the funds they receive judiciously in order to gain government's financial support.
Time now for showbiz. Well, as is common during most holidays in Ghana, many people found themselves at beaches on Easter Monday with heavy security presence. While some people went about the usual activities at the beach like swimming and horseback riding, others made themselves right at home with pounding of fufu and preparation of other meals. Here are some sights and sounds for you from the La Beach. Must be a lot of fun taking the kitchen to the beach, but that's it for showbiz. Many thanks for your time, but let's take another look at our top stories for tonight. Work progresses steadily at the Adome Bridge over a month since it was closed to traffic for refurbishment. We brought you an exclusive guided tour. A strange water weed with a pungent smell is threatening the coastline and aquatic life of some beaches in Accra. Residents say they are losing business as a result. Also, fire gas sections of the Accra Psychiatric Hospital, which has not seen any major refurbishment 108 years since its construction. The only school for the deaf in Western Region faces threat of closure as lack of infrastructure and huge debt burden hangs over the school. My name is Gifty Ando Apia. Many thanks for your time. Do enjoy the rest of the evening.